Hey guys, how the heck you doing? I'm back with another brand new video for you. And as you may know, Advanced Warfare has just gotten a update, and I've got a few of the patch notes here for you. So I thought I'd just let you guys know what's changed. So first of all, heavy weapons. The player movement has increased by 5% with heavy weapons. So that means you're going to be able to move faster with heavy weapons. Like the EM1 and the melee and all of those weapons. The second one is corrected scopes on the AE4. Now I'm not too sure about this, but maybe there was an issue when aiming down on the AE4, similar to the Moore sniper when the game first came out. The MK14 has reduced recoil. I never use the MK14 anyway, so that doesn't make too much of a difference for me. But then we've got the ARX 160, which has an increased magazine size, so that's a good thing. I think it went up from 30 to 45 bullets in a magazine. The AMR 9, which is the burst submachine gun, has got increased damage and decreased time between bursts. That's a pretty good thing, because I haven't seen too many people using that gun. It's not too viable. It was a pretty weak weapon, but now I think they've buffed it, and it could be a pretty good gun. I'm gonna have to use it and see. Next off, the SN6 got reduced recoil. I don't know if there's too much recoil with it before the patch, but hopefully it's improved and is a more viable weapon and more enjoyable to use. The KF5 mid-range damage has decreased, so that means at medium range the damage has decreased, so you'll need to have the enemy closer to you to do the same amount of damage as you did to them at medium range before, which isn't too much of a big deal, because it's still a pretty good weapon with the increased fire rate that weapon has opposed to the other SMGs. It's still a pretty good gun. Time to kill should still be low. I'm still have to play with it and see. And the Atlas 45 sniper mid-range damage has been decreased, and the max range damage has been increased. Now that's a thing that's going to prevent quickscopers and snipers. Now I don't understand that. It's not logical, because how can a gun have more damage at a further range opposed to a close range? I don't understand it, but I suppose it's to cut down on quickscopers, and there's been nothing done to the Moors, so I suppose that's still a viable option for quickscoping and sniping. Next we have the PDW, has an increased damage. I don't use that gun too often, so I'm not sure how it was before opposed to how it is now. So gonna have to maybe test it out. I don't know, have to see. And then we've got the shotguns. They have a reduced spread when using gung ho. So before, the gung ho perk was basically just for run and gun. You don't have time to aim down sights, and now they've obviously made it useful for another thing, which has decreased the bullet spread on the shotguns, which should be a good thing. It may make that perk even more useful than it was before, because before it wasn't all that useful. It still had its situations where it came in handy, but it wasn't the most useful gun. And then we've got the S12, which has an increased fire rate and an increased damage. Now that's a good thing, because the gun did fire pretty slow before. It wasn't a great weapon to use. I think I used it maybe twice, and it was a bit iffy, but now we'll have to see. Increased fire rate and increased damage should make that thing brolic, because if you're getting more bullets out, you're hitting your enemy with more bullets and therefore killing them faster, and with an increased damage it should be an absolute machine. We'll have to play with that and see as well. And the EPM3 now has a reduced recoil. I'm not too sure which gun that is. I think it's the direct energy. No, it's the one shot. I think it's a shotgun or a direct energy gun. I'm not too sure, but I know what gun it is. I just can't. I don't exactly know what it is, if you know what I mean. But that got reduced recoil, so I never really play with it. But anyway, The Lynx sniper rifle, which is honestly awful. So that doesn't really bother me, that it's got a reduced recoil. It's a horrible gun anyway. So I don't know about anybody else if you use that gun, but I know for a fact that I don't. It's pretty awful. I'll stick to the Moors, thank you. And for the last one that I've got here, the ASM1 has got a slightly reduced initial fire rate. Now this is a good one because I was playing with it. I've just updated the game. I played for about 20 minutes, and I do notice that that the fire rate is much slower. You can feel it from the get-go, and I don't know how that's going to affect the gun, if it's going to be as good, if the KF5 may be better than it now. It'll take some testing and some tournament play and scrims to determine how good exactly it still is. But I'm sure it's still good, because I've seen nothing that the damage has been decreased. But I think the fire rate played in its advantage quite a bit to being the best submachine gun. But we'll have to see. Hopefully it doesn't go back to bells only. Hopefully the game's a little bit more balanced now. I don't know. I prefer it with two basic guns that you can use, that standout guns for competitive, like an AR and a submachine gun. It doesn't make it too versatile in means of weapons choices, but it makes it more, I don't want to say predictable, but it makes it more, basically it's more balanced, because if everybody's using the same gun, then there should be no issues with one gun being better than the other, because everybody's using the same thing. So I don't understand what the big complaints are about. That's how I'd honestly prefer it. But those are just the patch notes that I've got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe for daily videos, and I will see you in the next one.